because Andrei Yershov and I and Femke were discussing intricacies of Slavonic grammars. You should have seen his face. You know, there was a subject on which three intelligent people were having lively conversation, and he didn't know a thing about it. I could have started this presentation, this talk, recalling how in the 80s, when martial law was imposed in Poland, we kept on our correspondence with letters opened by the military censor, and we managed to develop a little cipher of our own during this conversation, which was read by the censors. That was interesting exercise, and I could tell you how important these letters were for me then, coming from the world and bringing the, well, stability, bringing the belief, the certainty that human reason is invincible. Very important things. I could tell you how we've met. I think that apart from family and maybe a Dutchman or two, I am the person who knows Edsger longest. We've met in '65 in Princeton, 2.1 meeting. That makes it 5? That's 35 years. You know, my counting ability is not very great. That's why I took up computing. I could tell you about this stream of letters which continues for more than quarter of century now, with number going to about 500 each way. Very large box. But I decided not to. I'm not going to start or talk about these things. I'm going to talk about myself. Well, Fred mentioned I lived under many forms of government. Yes. I did many things in my life. I was an astronomer. I had a decent profession once. Well, solid science, you know. I didn't make any big contributions to science, and it's very unlikely I will ever make them, considering the age. I view myself as a teacher. I think I spend a lot of time on teaching, and I'm proud to see in the audience here some people who, to a certain degree, well, whom I didn't scare away, at least, from science. And this is in this capacity that I derived most benefit from Edsger. And, well, you know about his technical writings. They're quite all right. They're quite influential. A number of bright people have taken them up and developed. And there is blindingly good quality in them, but you know all about it. The symposium is about it. I want to tell you how important Edsger is for me as a point of reference, an intellectual integrity in thing which is becoming too rapidly old-fashioned. The view on university and its primary function to be good, to be honest, not to be the place where content is packaged and distributed over a network or somewhere to larger masses because there's a good business policy. We are all under tremendous pressure these days to commercialize, to prostitute the universities. Sometimes I think even the verb to prostitute is too noble sounding. I do know verbs which are stronger, but after iced tea rather than strong drinks I don't use these words. These verbs. If we be lucky enough, and universities as we know them and as we cherish them will be still around in 10 or 20 years, we should remember that it is because that people like Edsger deserve our eternal gratitude for being the source of ethics, scientific, pedagogical ethics, or ethic, David, ethic without C at the end, even though we may continue this discussion separately. The ethic which is so much needed in this world, which unfortunately is changing to the worse, and as the first speaker today mentioned that Edsger had something to do with it, I don't know whether he really invented Kiss Prof lipstick. That I would, well, perhaps he has, perhaps he hasn't. That's neither here nor there. But I certainly say that he is not responsible to any degree for the corruption of learning by means of computers. If anything, this has to be corrected, this statement. He is for the intellectual integrity